Researchers and next-generation technologists at the University of Arizona are leveraging Unreal Engine 5 and environmental science to explore an entirely new approach to science and climate communications with immersive and interactive storytelling. The social dimensions of climate communications are critical, but so too is the scientific basis on which immersive scenarios of land cover change are constructed.
So we've had Earth observation satellites up since the early 1970s. So by now we have images of over several decades which show seasonal changes in the vegetation cover, but we can also observe longer term changes on how vegetation has changed or has been impacted by droughts and also by the way people use and manage the land. For example, people make decisions about where to cultivate crops and what land to use for grazing their livestock. And those satellite images show us very well changes at the landscape level, but they're less suitable for visualizing how this would look like at the level of a farmer's field.
The grant will also produce valuable learning experiences for technology and business. Students at TechCore and the Eller College of Management are programmers, entrepreneurs, and creatives that are advancing the university's capabilities, unlocking the stunning power of Unreal Engine's Lumen and Nanite technologies.
Unreal Engine allows us to build immersive scenario to help visualize the changes at the farm field level from a farmer's perspective. This scenario can help farmers visualize changes in their farm field through time or through different seasons. Especially in an environment that have high climate variability, decisions on how to adapt to this variability have to be made constantly. For example, a farmer could decide to leave trees on his field or her field to provide shade for the crop and also prevent soil erosion. This decision greatly impacts the livelihood of those farmers and also the health of the environment.
And working with Unreal Engine 5, you can really tell the amount of effort they've put into it. They've changed the UI enough to make it more user-friendly, but not so much that if you're an old user of Unreal Engine 5, you won't completely fall into a random space. Learning Unreal Engine 5 for this project specifically, like I'm coming back from Unity, and it's been a good transition.
And this research promises to move academia and industry forward as the efficacy, weaknesses, and strengths of immersive storytelling for education are explored.
Well, I'm very excited about the project because it's very timely and it's a very powerful technology. There's so many things we can do with it, but there's really two areas that I think get me excited the most. The first is the possibility of popularizing game engine development, and particularly the kind of radical breakthroughs that Unreal Engine 5 has brought about with real-time physics and the lighting. It's just so next generation. The other thing that's just kind of fascinating to me is the power of immersive technology for education and for policy and for communication and basically storytelling. I think that we're really at the beginning of an entire new medium. And I don't think it's been studied nearly enough. I think it's going to take a generation to figure out what can be done with game engines, what can be done with immersive environments to communicate, in this case, science policy, impacts of decision making, and just sort of like collective imagining of what the future can look like. And so those are aspects of the project that I think are very compelling, and I'm really hoping we get the chance to move forward.